Are you thinking of buying parallel guides for your track saw? If you are, then stick around as I give 10 factors you should consider before you buy. Hey, I'm Ben Marshall, and I like to share woodworking tips, tricks, and how-tos twice a month here on this channel. If that's something that you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. In this video, I'm going to give 10 considerations you should think about before purchasing a set of parallel guides. I've owned my parallel guides for a few months now, and I wanted to help others figure out if they should pick up a set or not. Just like any tool that you use, there is a time and a place for using it. However, sometimes we find out the hard way that some tools just don't fit our exact needs, and we end up regretting the purchase. I'm certainly happy with my parallel guides, and I've used them on tons of furniture builds. However, given your current situation, it may not be the best purchase right now. When researching the information for this video, I not only browse multiple tool sites, discussion boards, product reviews, and Facebook groups, but the classified and sales pages too. I receive feedback on every brand mentioned in this video, both good and bad, and I've compiled what I feel are the key areas of consideration before a purchase. Most parallel guides that are up for sale on classified ads and marketplaces fell into two categories. Either the seller did not like certain design features on the guides that they had purchased, or they just didn't use them in the way that they thought that they would. So before making a purchase, make sure that you can really consider all the key points I'm about to discuss before you spend your hard-earned cash. If you've never heard of parallel guides before, they are certainly an invaluable tool in the hands of a competent woodworker, carpenter, or contractor. Just like any other tool, the job or the project at hand and your situation dictates when and what should be used to get the job done the best way possible with minimal errors. Parallel guides are an accessory that attach to a track saw and provide quick, accurate, repeatable cuts. They are used by a bevy of craftsmen from traditional hobbyists to professionals, contractors, and carpenters. Several well-known manufacturers of these guides include Woodpecker, Festool, TSO, Craig, Precision Dogs, and Seneca, just to name a few. Most of these parallel guides support track saws made by Festool, Makita, and Triton, who use the popular T-Track style guide rail. Others support the proprietary tracks used by Metabo, Bosch, Mafell guide rail systems. It's important to note that all of these companies and products are vying to provide the same end result: clean, precise, accurate, and perfectly cut parallel pieces utilizing a track saw and a guide rail. The differences of each are in the time to set it up, the calibration, the adjustment of the parallel guide position, and the reliability of the precision of each system. Now that I've covered what parallel guides are, I want to present those 10 considerations that you should make before purchasing any set of parallel guides. The first question that you should ask yourself is, do I own a track saw? For me, I already own the TS75 and the guide rail that comes with it. In order to use manufactured precision-made parallel guides, you must own or have access to a track saw. The type of guide rail that you use also determines which manufacturer you can choose from. Before purchasing any components, make sure that the parallel guides that you want to purchase supports the guide rail style that your track saw currently uses. Question number 2. Do you need repeatable, consistent, and accurate cuts? The key word here is repeatable. Getting a single accurate rip is certainly achievable with just a track saw and a guide rail. Parallel guides are meant to cut time without losing quality. You can do more identical cuts in less time without errors or variations in dimensions. Repeatability is a huge factor, which leads into the next question. Question number 3. Are you making a lot of repeatable cuts on a current or future project? Drawers, cabinet carcasses, panels, shelves, laminates, and many others require more of a lot of the same cuts to be batched out to save time. This is where the parallel guides truly shine. However, if you're only making a few of the same cuts here and there, or you have a huge industrial saw that can support full sheet goods, then parallel guides are probably not for you. However, if you don't have a huge table saw or don't have a saw in general, then you might want to consider these parallel guides and this next question carefully. Question number 4, are you often uncomfortable, uneasy, or concerned about safety when ripping or cutting large sheet goods on a table saw? Non-industrial and smaller cabinet saws can be hazardous when attempting to rip large sheet goods or stock. In most cases, bringing the tool to the material is safer than bringing the material to the tool. Using a track saw and parallel guides provides more safety control when dimensioning large sheet goods or stock, and safety should always be a top concern in every shop. However, there's another area of safety we rarely consider, and that's our own health and well-being. Question number 5. Do you have trouble moving large sheet goods or stock, or are you concerned about injuring yourself in the process? My body is kaput after serving in the military. I have 6 herniated discs in my neck and back. I have weakened grip in my arms and hands, and I have arthritis in pretty much every joint. My body hurts on a daily basis. So if you're like me, then moving large sheet goods is not only painful, but it could be detrimental to your existing medical conditions. Using a track saw and parallel guides to break down lumber on site allows me to manage the weight better and keep myself healthy and injury-free. Question number 6. Are there often times that you don't have a table saw and you need to have repeat cutting capabilities? I personally do not own a table saw. I have in the past, however, since getting back into woodworking, I figured I could get by with most of my current projects with just a track saw and parallel guides for ripping. I'm quite surprised at how much I can actually get accomplished with just those 2 items. And so far, I've been able to make all the furniture in my daughter's room: a bookshelf, a desk, a wall shelf, and then a floating nightstand, all without using a table saw. However, some of you might have a nice table saw but can't bring it to a job site. In this case, parallel guides offer a sense of mobility, accuracy, and repeatability no matter where you go. And speaking of shops, here's the next vital question. Question number 7. Do you have a limited workspace? Although my basement is rather large currently, this is only a temporary setup, and I'll be back to using a smaller 15 by 25 foot area in the future. Owning a large table saw and a huge dust extractor is out of the equation for me at this time. Perhaps you're in a really small shop too that doesn't have a lot of room for a table saw, or you're a professional installer and you don't have a lot of room in your trailer for a contractor saw. If you fall under either of those 2 categories, I would really consider the work that you do and whether the parallel guide fits in your needs. Doing the research on field setup time, calibration time, and durability would be my focus. You'll likely be setting up and breaking down parallel guides more often than anyone, as well as rough handling the parallel guides. Question number 8. Are you limited by transport capacity for large goods? I own a Toyota Prius. Yes, a Toyota Prius. Go ahead and joke in the comment section. However, that Prius is a mark of my journey to be debt-free, and I'm quite proud of it. Sure, I can't throw a ton of wood in the back or haul a huge custom piece in it. However, it's only temporary, and luckily I have the tools here to help me overcome that transport incapacity. So if you don't own a truck or a trailer to haul large sheet goods, don't let that be a reason you can't do certain projects. Parallel guides and a good track saw can certainly get you past that limitation. Question number 9. Do you work by yourself? This is probably more common than not. Most woodworkers operate out of their small shop in their homes or in their basements, and the same can be said for contractors with minimal crews. There have been many times I've visited a buddy's shop who needed help getting a 4x8 sheet plywood through a table saw. However, help is usually not around, so being able to rip goods down safely while solo is a huge reason for picking up parallel guides. And the last and probably most overlooked question, are you wasting material by rough cutting first? Look, times are tough, and some of you may be short on money. It might seem like something really small, but being able to rip project dimensions directly off of a full sheet of plywood saves not only time and materials, but it creates less waste that you could have for future projects. The most common practice with sheet goods is to rough cut and then dimension rip at the table saw. So really you're doing twice the work with this method compared to a single pass with a parallel guide and a track saw. Using a good track saw and parallel guides removes the need for follow-on cuts in the workflow and could save you money down the road by wasting less materials. In closing, buying parallel guides can really change the dimensioning process in your shop, and I hope you carefully consider the purchase decision. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments below, or if you have feedback about your own experience with parallel guides, let me know whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. If you want to see more videos on this channel, consider subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.